Hello everyone, Ariam here, and welcome back to another episode of Extinction Event, where today we're talking about the golden toad. The golden toad was a true toad species that used to exist in a tiny region of Costa Rica that was only about 1.5 square miles. Unfortunately, as you can expect, living in such a restricted, tiny area means that if something impacts part of the population, it probably impacts the whole population. The toad was only first discovered in 1966, and the last sighting was in 1989, so 23 years between discovery and extinction. Golden toads weren't actually always golden. The males usually were, but females could have been red, green, or white, and sometimes even black and yellow. So what led this gold, sometimes not so gold, toad into such a quick extinction? Well, first, there was a severe population imbalance. Males often outnumbered females in some years by as many as 10 males per 1 female, which not only created some really fierce and sometimes fatal competition for mates, but also meant that you weren't getting as many new toads each year as you would with a higher population of females. Additionally, not only did these toads live in such a teeny tiny area, but they lived in a cloud forest, which is an extremely delicate sort of ecosystem. It's believed that any instances of drought, humidity changes, or even air pollution could have really affected this sort of ecosystem and disrupted the toad's way of life. But worst of all was the exposure of these toads to a fungus called chytridiomycosis. Hundreds of amphibian species, not limited to frogs and toads, but others like newts and salamanders, are endangered or at risk of extinction today, all because of this fungus. I'll dive more into this fungal infection in a future episode, but just know that the golden toad isn't the first, and it won't be the last amphibian to go extinct because of these factors. The difficulty with amphibians is that they're often hard to find, which means they're hard to research and hard to identify, but it also means that we don't know the ways that we are impacting them if we don't know that they're there. Thankfully, many researchers are looking into ways to help save various species of amphibians, both from this fungus and from habitat loss and climate change, so there may be hope for future amphibians, and that should remind you to smile.